Hey guys, it's me Jake from JakeMan21642. Today I thought I would do a video for you of my new car. As I'm sure a lot of you know, I had a 1993 Honda Accord EX sedan, and earlier last week I was driving to work. I was on I-95 heading into the city here in Richmond from where I go to school. I was actually on my way to work, and I was speeding up to pass someone and the timing belt broke. So, long story short, I had the car towed into Midas, which is my trusted shop. Midas of Richmond. They are fantastic. They've been great to me. And they told me, you know, what I pretty much already knew was that the timing belt had broken, and it would be anywhere from probably $750 to $900 to get a new belt, water pump, all that on. Which, yeah, is probably a little bit high, but still probably around that area anywhere I had taken it. And then from there, since it was an interference engine, it probably did some damage, especially considering I was going 80 miles an hour, and the car made a, like, death rattle when it happened. And from there, if it had done any damage, it could have been anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 to fix the engine, or put a new engine in. I know everyone's going to be like, my grandfather was a Honda mechanic for 50 years, and he says you could have fixed the engine for $500. Now, I was not about to deal with it. Long story short, my friend Matt, MKM230 here on YouTube, which I'm sure all of you guys know this car came from, is moving out of the area, and he has the Crown Victoria still, and actually bought this car on my birthday and paid so little for it, he really saw no use in keeping it, just with the situation he's in right now. And so I talked to him and we agreed on a price, and this is my new daily driver. This is my 2002 Honda Civic SI hatchback, or the EP3 generation, as a lot of people know it as. This one is finished off in the Nighthawk Black Pearl, which is probably my favorite color you could get on the pre-refresh models. The post-refresh, you could get that really nice looking blue, I believe Monte Carlo blue. But these, they did come in that Euro yellow color, which looks really good, but that is a ticket color. Anyway, coming around the car, as you can see, as I mentioned, it's in Nighthawk Black Pearl. Go ahead and start off at the back. It does have some scrapes and stuff on the bumper, which I think someone tried to touch these up and just did a really poor job, so I might do something about that. You can tell here it got tapped by a license plate, probably in a parking lot. It does have the correct OEM muffler on it, the dual tipped, as you can see, unlike the Accord, and it is great sounding. Coming along here, you can see probably my favorite part about the car, the SI badge. And then I am rolling on temp tags just for right now until I get my new plates in the mail, because I did order custom plates. Up here, there's a little bit of clear coat fade on top of the Honda emblem, which is not bad, because Nighthawk Black is a color that fades really easily. So we get some touch-up paint and touch that up. Rear wiper blade, of course, since it's a hatchback. And then coming along up here, this one does, as I'm sure if any of you saw in Matt's video of the car, it had some really nasty clear coat fade up along here. So I went ahead and did what any racer would, and I plasti dipped it. But this looks a lot better than the nasty clear coat fade. It's actually peeling up a little bit right there. I only did one coat because it was my first time ever using plasti dip, so definitely going to touch it up, put another coat on. But I actually really like the way the matte finish looks with the pearlescent paint on the car. It is very, very nice and looks better than the fade did. Up here, it does have the little nub antenna. And then coming along the side, you can see the iVTEC DOHC. And then on the front, as I'm sure a lot of you noticed in Matt's video, this car did have Kumho KH17s. Now it is riding on Goodyear Eagle RSAs, and that's because these are the exact same tires that were on my Accord. The tires on the Accord maybe had 5,000 miles, probably 4,000, because I think I drove the car about 900 miles before I got them. But I was not about to let these go. I paid so little for them. I got them through the dealership I work at. And this car, the tires on the front had about 50% tread, but the ones on the back were in really, really bad shape, because you can tell someone just never rotated them. So got these put on. I'll probably get some better tires eventually, but these honestly aren't bad. These are really good in the rain. They're just cheap tires, so they'll wear out and probably get noisy faster, but for now, what they are, I barely paid anything to get them put on, so that's that. Car does have front and rear disc brakes, and also it has a McPherson strut front suspension and a double wishbone rear suspension. Coming along the front, it being a black car with higher mileage, it does have some rock chips and scuffs and stuff on the front, as you can see, and on the hood, which I'm just going to leave. It's an older car. I can't be that mad over it, and I work in the car industry. When people touch things up, especially when you get an entire front end resprayed, it never looks good again. Headlights and pictures, they look faded, especially with an Instagram filter, but they're really not that faded. I've buffed them out twice already. What I'll probably eventually do is get the post refresh headlights that have the black inside of them. They look really, really good on these cars. They're only about 80 bucks on eBay. So that's that. I'll probably end up getting Silver Star ZXEs just because I really like those headlights. And coming up to the grill, you can see the SI badge. Does have a few chips on it. And then right here, does have the original Honda emblem. I got bored when I was plasti dipping the back, and I dipped the front emblem, and it actually didn't look that bad. I left the chrome around. I just dipped the H, but my mom came out and touched it, and it peeled, so I just peeled it off. Don't know if I'll dip it back, because that is kind of ricey. I'm kind of a sucker for just the OEM look of these cars because they look so good. But definitely fog lights are in order for the front. Those were a dealer accessory, typical Honda, so definitely get those. Coming along to the interior, I believe I left it unlocked. This is definitely staying. Coming along inside, this one does have the black interior. This was the only interior you could get on the EP3. It does have the black suede seats, along with a pretty much all black interior. Coming along to the door, as you can see, everything's plastic along here. I'll do a full interior quality video, but it's typical Honda. Padded armrest, you get the cloth on the door. Power windows, locks, mirrors, all that. Does have keyless entry, I just don't have the fob, so I'll order one of those eventually. Coming along here, you have your kick plates. This is actually, you can see the high quality plastics that Honda uses because 160,000 miles, this is fine. Around here where the seatbelt will hit against it, I mean, it's got some scratches, but it's not as bad as some cars I see. As I mentioned, does have the bucket seats. These seats are definitely a little on the firm side, but I mean, I'm a larger person, and I'm completely comfortable in them. But the Accord just had such plush, great seats. This took some getting used to. I really like this part up here, but definitely like the seats in this vehicle. Down here, you do have the fuel cap release. This one does have the original Civic Si floor mats, which, as you can see, it being a stick, does have a little dig in it, but oh, big deal. Go ahead and start it up, I guess. And you'll see, of course, since it's a Honda, it runs fantastic. Typical ticky old K-Series engine. But coming along inside, as you can see, this one is the 5-speed manual, which I'll get to in a second. So let's have the leather wrap steering wheel, which for those of you who know Hondas, this is the same exact wheel out of the first gen Insight and the S2000. It does have the red color contrast stitching along here. The stitching's kind of around here, but I'll figure out something to do with that. Also too, if any of you guys did see Matt's video, this seat did have a rip along the seam, but my mom got in and stitched it all up for me, so way to go there, Mom. That actually is very nice, and it'll keep the seat from getting any worse. So anyway, coming along the door, power everything. Over here, you do have a very nice deep storage compartment actually down here. I'll usually leave my camera down there. You have power mirror controls, cruise control. One of these switches would be where your dealer accessory fog lights would go. Up here, you have some more storage. This is a lot different than the Accord. It has lots of places to put things. The Accord had nowhere. Up here, you do have a cup holder. So the vent, obviously, if it's something cool, probably hot outside, so you'll have cool air coming through here. If it's something warm, like coffee or tea, you'll probably have the heat on, so that'll keep your drink cool or warm. Up here, you do have the vent. You do have the tweeter for your audio system. This vehicle, the stereo is completely stock in it, and nothing is blown. It actually sounds excellent. But you do have the tweeter for the audio system up here. In the middle, you do have your gauges, which light up orange when the lights are on. Tach, speedometer, your gauge brightness, and then right here, cycle through your trip computer. And then over here, you do have your engine temperature and your fuel gauge. Coming along the middle, this does have the silver plastic trim, which was stock on these. A lot of people will switch this out. But it does have the original radio, which it's a good sounding stereo in here. This head unit just isn't pushing a lot of power though, so I've saved the radio out of my Accord, which is definitely going to go in here so I can have my Bluetooth, my auxiliary, all of that, because I just drive too much. Like, OEM stuff is cute and all, but I'm in the car too much to, like, be that guy. So I'll have all that. Probably get my Bluetooth, definitely, since this is a stick. It'll be nice to have that. Along here, you do have all your climate controls, which is straight out of a regular Civic. It's that very nice, computerized, easy to use, doesn't clunk like a Corolla climate controls. Down here, you do have your temperature, and then right here, you do have your fan speed. Another thing about these is they have like 10 million fan speeds. Anyone who's ever been in one of these knows what I'm talking about. Down here, you do have your recirc, AC, and your rear defrost. Up here, obviously, you have a little compartment, and I have my satellite radio, because FM radio is horrible. Down here, you have the 5-speed, which is a very nice gearbox. All the way over, down to reverse. Like I said, very typical Honda, very slick gearbox. It should have a leather-wrapped shift knob, normally like these would have, but the leather was all worn off, so Matt just took it off. And underneath of that, it's just a standard 7th gen Civic shifter, so way to go Honda on that one. Down here, you do have a power outlet, which I have this splitter inverter thing with my satellite radio and FM transmitter and a place to charge my phone. Eventually, I'm going to run all of that like I had in the Accord, but that's just for now. Down here, you do have this cover. Inside here, you have 2 cup holders. I've never owned a car with cup holders before, or Accord had them, but they were those 90s ones that are like that deep, so useless cup holders, but I have a car with cup holders now, so that's very nice. Down here, you do have my fat stacks, as usual, and then a receipt, but bottom line, storage compartment. It's actually a very nice deep storage compartment. Right here, do have more place. That's where I'll usually put my phone. And down there, I do keep a screwdriver in here for when my plates get here. Do have the parking brake right here. I mean, the chrome's kind of worn off that, but ooh. This has been added since the last time you saw this car on Matt's channel. This is an aftermarket armrest, which, thank God, this car has. Inside of here, it does have storage. It does tilt, but it's a very nice padded leather armrest thing, and you can adjust it and tilt it up. It does cover up the back cup holder, but who cares about the back passenger? Up here, do have a manually dimming rearview mirror, my school parking pass, and then my keychain and an air freshener. Up here, light, or mirror. Actually, I don't think either of these are lighted. Nope, so you'll have to go through the difficult task of pushing a button to turn the light on. Up here does have the headliner. It is fairly padded. All of this is typical mid-2000s car. Plastic, you know, so the interior is a little bit of a downgrade from the Accord, but it's still all rubberized. I've watched reviews, everyone's like, everything's hard plastic. No, this is actually all a nice rubberized material. It's just not padded soft. Also does have a passenger airbag, something a car of mine has never had. And I'm pretty sure this vehicle is not affected by the Takata airbag recall. I keep checking online daily, but I have not seen anything about the SI. So I think it's because it has this different steering wheel. It does not have the death airbags. Up here, it does have 2 storage compartment places. Keep my sunglasses in that one. And then down here, glove box, where I have shoved all the wires for that. And inside of here, it does have all the original owner's manuals. It came from Holmes Honda, which I believe is in Louisiana. So, Southern car, absolutely no rust, which I'm fine with. So, 14 minutes into this video, we'll go ahead and unlock the door, pop the hood, and come around to the back. This vehicle is a hatchback, of course. And pop it right here. Struts hold it up fine. As you can see, someone has rigged this. I'm gonna get something better looking eventually, but as you can see, the ones in my mom's Rabbit broke too. Cargo covers always break over time, so someone actually took some time and rigged this up pretty well too, but that's gonna change eventually. As you can see, the trunk isn't as massive as the Accord was, but it's still got a very nice amount of room, and the seats fold and you get an excellent amount of room in this car. Original spare tire and jack, all that are underneath of there, and I'm gonna clean some of this junk out. This was all me cleaning out the Accord and throwing it back here. Most of it's detailing products and a belt, literally a belt that you wear, and shoes, so that's all gonna get organized eventually. But overall, very nice having a hatchback. I'd really like hatchbacks. I really like this car, you know. This is what the SI used to be, not what it is today, which the SI is still a fantastic car, but not like this. This is its own special breed. Coming inside of here, pop the seat up like that. And I was thinking, definitely since I have a two-door hatch now, I'd be taking a hit in rear seat room. Honestly not. Bring the seat back. I mean, it's just as good as the Accord was. The thigh support's a little low, but it's still very comfortable. My mom was riding back here and she had absolutely no problem. She enjoyed it. And I had friends back here the other night. They thought it was great too. It does not have an armrest, of course, because it's a Civic. But it's the same very nice suede. And it's also got the very nice cloth in the middle. Over here, the speakers, which I popped this cover off, does have the original speakers, but they look very easy to change out. And everything in the back is plastic, armrests and all that, but you have your little guides up here for the seat belts if you want to fold the seat. I do keep my trash can back here and a box of tissues, my OBD scanner, because I finally do own a car that is OBD too. So go ahead, pop the seat forward, same as the Civic Coupe, and move that back. Same bucket seat on the passenger side, of course. Already showed you the glove box, and it does have the original floor mats on this side. See the door there. And coming up to the front, you can definitely see how the lenses are a little tiny bit faded when the headlights are on, but they are original. It's a Southern car. This one almost looks like it's scratched a little bit. But coming up underneath the hood, the vehicle does have the 2-liter iVTEC K20 4-cylinder, which it's definitely a ticky engine. Like, it took some getting used to, and that's coming from the F22, which is also a ticky engine, but typical old Honda. As you can see, it does have the intake. Matt put that on there. And you can see just how much room when you take the airbox out. I mean, there's your shift linkages right there. So it's a very easy to work on car. There's a lot of room underneath of here, but running absolutely great. You could not tell the mileage that this car has. Also does have a brand new battery. So, very nice on that part. We have the confused looking Ford Escape. So anyway, I'll step inside and give it a rev. And then shut it off. And I promise there'll be plenty more videos on this car. It's a very nice sounding engine. So, we'll go ahead and cut the car off. I feel like I'm doing one of my dealership tours. And like I said, there'll be plenty more videos of this car. Thanks for watching. And as always, guys, any questions, drop them down below. And please, subscribe for more.